Welcome to New in Duke Blue, where we introduce Duke leaders to the staff and faculty to help others get to know the people who are helping set the course for the university's second century. My name is Antwan Lofton, and I'm excited to welcome Lisa Goodlett with us today, the Chief Financial Officer for Duke University Health System, as my guest today. Lisa joined Duke in the spring of 2024 from the Medical University of South Carolina, where she served as the Chief Financial Officer. In her role, she has all of the financial responsibilities for the health system. Lisa, we're happy to have you joining us today, and we look forward to getting to know you a little better.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad to be here. Appreciate it.
Wonderful. So everyone wants to know, who is Lisa? Tell us something about yourself that perhaps maybe we can't find within your bio.
Sure, glad to. There's probably three things I'd share about that. One, I'm the youngest of, have two brothers, so a family of five. And my brothers were 10 years older than I was, so they're Boy Eagle Scouts. And when they brought me home, they charged 25 cents per person in the neighborhood to come see me. But the gift of that was I have the confidence and the traits of a baby and a newborn. So just that gift of confidence has really shaped me, I think, throughout my life, and just grateful to my family for giving that to me. Got the opportunity. I'm a very collaborative person, and that probably comes from playing team sports. You know, basketball, tennis, pickleball now. That's all the new rage as that moves forward. And then what somebody may not know about me professionally is I've actually a 3-time examiner for the Malcolm Baldrige Quality Program. Wow. And I got into that as thinking about how do we make more efficiencies in healthcare, and it's really people, process, and technology. So those are probably the three things I'd share with you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Now, a very lofty title, as they love to say, CFO, Chief Financial Officer. For those wondering, what exactly does that role do?
I get this question a lot. So, ideally, 50% of my job as the Chief Financial Officer is to focus on growth. How do we grow the system, diversify our revenue streams, get into new markets, new businesses, all within the umbrella of healthcare, but really it's a lot about growth and how do you make that happen. The other part is what most people identify with is, you know, kind of keeping all the resources in check. So my role is to collaborate with our operating partners and our clinical partners and say, here's the resources we have on the table, and to help be a partner as we exercise and think about how do we prioritize what's important, what do we want to do from those pieces. The work that happens behind the scene is all the treasury, you know, the portfolios managed by DUMAC, supply chain, making sure that people get what they need when they need it, and we're doing a lot of revamp work there in that particular time. And then revenue cycle, really collecting the money in. So it's collecting the money in and seeing how it outflows. Absolutely. Thank you for that.
So looking at your bio, your CV, your resume, you've had a very long, expansive career.
How Are you calling me old?
No! No, we're seasoned.
We're seasoned. I like that.
Absolutely.
I like that.
So how did you get into this field, and kind of walk us through a little bit about your career?
Sure. So out of healthcare, I knew my father wanted me to be an engineer. That I love engineers, not my path. And so I became a certified public accountant, and our practice had a lot of healthcare clients. So it was a natural fit to say is I don't want to pursue a career in private CPA firm. What are my two industries I think I want to go in? And so healthcare is it's been a great ride, impactful. I feel like I make a change in all the places that I've been, and just had the opportunity to be exposed to incredible things. I have been one since I'm 26 years old, so I've been a CFO longer than I have not been a CFO. And it's a great role because you get to motivate young talent, you get to clarify and speak in language that people can understand. You know, it's easy to be a very technical CFO, but that really doesn't help people, and they aren't able to take action and move things forward from that. So worked for the CPA firm, started and have just moved up through different arenas and got attracted. And what I really like is the academic mission. You know, the opportunity, the balance of the three quarters, clinical, research, and education. And so once I got in the academic world, that's just been amazing for me. going back to my other comment as far as growing the business, I'm a merger and acquisition person. And so really got into that with the University of Maryland Medical System as they were bringing 3 hospitals into a 13 hospital system. So it's like solving a puzzle. How do you find the efficiencies? How do you find the value? How do you eliminate waste and create a vision people can grasp onto and want to move forward and drive to? So I've been really in the M&A space since 2013. Had the opportunity to go to MUSC, Medical University of South Carolina, and grew that with a team of people from $2.4 billion when I arrived to 7 years later, $5.7 billion. So that trajectory, why that's important in healthcare is it gives you a power with the payers, to be able to say, hey, not only are we Duke, but we have scale here and you need us in our network. And, large part of our reimbursement, about 50% comes through the commercial payer. So we're on a pathway to make Duke bigger. And I believe fundamentally, people have the right to the high quality care at Duke here. I mean, it's just amazing what we can do. And what's exciting is how do we innovate and take that forward? Not everybody can come to Durham. We don't want everybody to come to Durham. That's not in their best interest. But how do we develop that access point and expand our footprints?
Wonderful, wonderful. So you touched on something that I have witnessed and watched be very dear to you, and that is development. So looking back at your career, what was the best advice that someone gave to you as they were starting their career or mid-level leadership roles that you would like to share with the audience today?
Oh, sure. Really be curious, and that encompasses a couple things. Listen well. Listen like your life depends on is actually, some of the best advice I've ever gotten. And then learn how to ask the right questions. And so a lot goes into that and studying the framework so people feel comfortable. It's not a gotcha game, but, people can get pretty nervous when they talk to the CFO. So I use humor a lot. How do you make them comfortable and be relatable? And it's just fascinating what people can come up with in a good way and how we can innovate and improve Duke.
Absolutely. Well, speaking of Duke, that's the last word that you mentioned.
Yes.
You could go anywhere. What made you decide to be a part of the Duke family?
Well, Duke is always a fascination point. I am a Clemson grad, so, familiarity with the sports programs and things like that. So when the recruiter called, and I said, sure, who wouldn't go understand what Duke's about? And when I got here, the chemistry of the team, my peers and my team was just an incredible magnet. Craig, the CEO, is just amazing, wonderful to work for. And then getting here, what really attracted me, we're 100 years old, about to be on a different pathway. And just the whole concept, founded in the New Deal era, focused on just doing well, doing good things that improve humanity, the population, and all that kind of stuff. It's so palpable that once I saw that, I was like, this is the place for me.
Absolutely. Wonderful. So when you talk about that past 100 years, and it's, first of all, it's shocking to believe that we're only 100 years
Exactly.
when you look at all of the things that we've been able to accomplish. But as we turn that page and we continue to build on that rich legacy of the past 100 years, going into that second century, from your vantage point, tell us what are some things that we should be looking for or keep in mind as we talk about the future of healthcare?
I think innovation. Healthcare is a great industry in that it will never totally break. It always fixes itself because of the mission and the people who are drawn into it want to get better every day. So I think the application of technology, AI, quantum computing, to take the risk out of any procedures. What people want, and this is a line from Craig, when they come to healthcare, they want heal me, don't hurt me, and hear me. And so just the opportunity to put technology around that and make it more streamlined versus, hey, here's a clipboard, fill it out. There's so much opportunity in our industry. So that applicability of AI, I think young talent coming in, I think medicine with genetics and genomics is going to change incredibly over the next 5 years. We can identify things, Duke can now, that can cure cancer. Well, how do we share that with the rest of the population and just really leverage science to make any health issues rapidly solvable?
Wonderful. Well, we feel better knowing that you are at the helm.
Oh, well, thank you, sir.
So thank you for joining us. So if you're asking or still wondering who is new, at Duke Blue. You have now met Lisa. Lisa, again, thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.